Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. The session today is basically all about meditations. The Buddhist teachings are all about the permanent happiness, permanent freedom from suffering, which is called the Nibbana. But if someone tries this meditations, if someone tries the Dhamma to practice this, they can get the results here, right now. They can get the results right after, maybe in your next life, or maybe whenever in the samsara journey. And also, you will get benefit to achieve that Nibbana goal, the deathless state. So, you know that in the practice, basically, we have three ways to practice. The first is called dana, generosity. And then the second thing is sila, moral conduct. And then the third is bhavana, the meditation. We say this dana, sila, and bhavana. Generosity, virtuous behavior, and meditation. Of course, the Noble Eightfold Path is divided into two parts too, which is called Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Sila is virtuous behavior. Samadhi is the concentration. Panya is the wisdom. When someone try to do this Noble Eightfold Path, they will definitely achieve that ultimate happiness of Nibbana. So when it comes to the meditations again, so Buddha gave a wonderful discourse like this, okay? I was actually unable to find it online, but I will read it for you, okay? Serenity and insight. There are two types of meditations from the Buddha. One, it is in Pali, we say Samatha Bhavana. You might have heard Samatha, which is in English, serene meditation or serenity. And then the second type of meditation is Vipassana Bhavana, or you might have heard Vidarshana Bhavana or something. Insight meditations. What's the difference between Samatha Bhavana and Vipassana Bhavana? Or Samatha Bhavana or Vidarshana Bhavana? Serene meditation and insight meditations. Okay? So when you practice the serene meditation, you become so comfortable, happy, peaceful. You have eliminated all the hindrances actually. No sensual desire at that time. No anger, no hatred, no dullness or drowsiness in your mind. You're very comfortable, active, alert, and no fear or worry, restlessness or remorse. You're free, you're comfortable, and no doubt. So when you're aware of this, from these five hindrances, we call it nivarana or hindrances, you are so happy. You have some kind of a concentration, which is called samatha. In samatha, you can achieve this. Then what is insight meditation? Insight is you investigate the phenomena. This is how it happens. This is the reality. This is how the Buddha explained this Dhamma or something. You investigate, right? In detail, you think about the Dhamma, right? And then this is what the Buddha said about the serenity and insight, the meditations, okay? Please do not be silent if you have a question. Two things or monks partake of true knowledge. What two? Serenity and insight. When serenity is developed, what is serenity again in Pali? Samatha Bhavana. Samatha meditations, serenity meditations. When serenity is developed, what benefit does one experience? Do you know? The mind is developed. If you give this a try, the mind is developed. When mind is developed, what benefit does one experience? What's the point? All lust is abandoned. All attachments. You become so detached from the sensual desires, from anger. Those are attachments, right? I mean, anything, any defilement or any negativity or anything, you're detached, all the lust. When insight is developed, what benefit does one experience? Insight. So you investigate the doubt. This is how the Buddha explains something. When insight is developed, wisdom is developed. You develop your wisdom. When serenity is developed,
What is Buddha teaches about wisdom? What exactly?
wisdom, understanding reality as it is the wisdom. Arising and passing away. That is the basic. Okay? Wisdom is developed. When wisdom is developed, what benefit does one experience? All ignorance is abandoned. Beautiful, huh? What is ignorance? Ignorance is not knowing. You're not blind, right? You have that beautiful sight to see as they really are. Does that make sense? Yes. A mind defiled by lust is not liberated. So the attachments or whatever. And wisdom defiled by ignorance is not developed. So ignorance, wisdom. If the wisdom is covered by ignorance, it's not developed, okay? Thus, monks, through the fading away of lust, there is liberation of mind. Through the fading away of ignorance, there is liberation by wisdom. It's kind of a basic thing the Buddha explained about serenity and insight, samatha and vipassana. This is from the numerical discourses. Actually, I just needed this sutta from Bhikkhu Bodhibhante, but it's not available. Bhikkhu Bodhibhante says the concentration too. In Sinhala, we say samadhi. The second sutra is the discourse about samadhi or the concentration, immersion. Okay.
Make peaceful of found in the world, what for? One person has internal serenity of heart, but not the prior wisdom of discriminate of the principles. One person has the higher wisdom of discriminate of principles, but not internal serenity of heart. One person has neither internal serenity of heart, nor the higher wisdom of discriminate of principles. One person has both internal serenity of heart, has a higher wisdom of independent of principles.
Sadhu. Because is a monk. Because there are these four kinds of persons found existing in the world. What for? Here, some person gains internal serenity of mind, but not the higher wisdom of insight into the phenomena. Some people, when they meditate, this is the first. They gain serenity. They develop their serenity. When they meditate, they are comfortable, they are away from hindrances, they have like kind of feeling composed, they have peace, lots of peace, but not higher wisdom of discernment. How the Bhikkhu Bodhisattva says? Not the higher wisdom of insight into phenomena. They do not investigate the phenomena. They do not investigate what they experience. They do not understand the reality of the things. They are comfortable, they are peaceful. Number two, the person has higher wisdom of discernment of principles, but not internal serenity of heart. Some people, they can't meditate, like they are not comfortable sitting. They have lots of distractions, like they think about many things, this movies, video games, I don't know. They have lots of distractions in their mind, maybe during the meditations, maybe in their general life as well. But they have a deep concern about the inside. They investigate the Dhamma, how the Buddha explained, right? Number 3, one person has neither internal serenity of heart nor the higher wisdom of discernment of principles. Still, another gains neither internal serenity of mind nor the higher wisdom of insight into phenomena. They do nothing. Does that make sense? Oh, still. Number 4. One person has both internal serenity of heart and the higher wisdom of discernment of principle. Bhikkhu Bodhibhante says, and still another person gains both internal serenity of mind and the higher wisdom of insight into phenomena. These are the 4 types of people in the world, available in the world, okay? We were talking about these 2 types of meditation. The first one is serenity, samatha, and then the other one is insight, vipassana or vidarshana. So what is about metta bhavana, loving kindness meditation? Samatha bhavana or vipassana bhavana? It is a samatha. Basically, it's a samatha bhavana. It is very calm, very peaceful, and very soothing. The meditation is so like giving so much of peace to you, right? The metta bhavana, loving kindness, when you have metta, love, and compassion to other people. But there is the insight part as well in the loving kindness meditation. How do you do this? For example, when you meditate, your mind becomes so comfortable. It could be kind of a level of jhanas, maybe the first, the second, third, or fourth, or whatever. Jhanas are the levels of concentration. Or maybe it's not jhana, but it's kind of a peaceful state of mind. You're comfortable and you investigate the things as the Buddha explains. How? That peace that you experience is so good, happy, you experience lots of joy, or whatever. But what's the nature of this joy? If you transform that serenity into insight, that joy, that happiness, that blissful state of mind is also subject to change. It's not permanent, it's impermanent. And you investigate, how does this happen? So what is the base of this, the experience of this joy or something? Then you understand this joy is conditioned. For reasons I am experiencing, arising and also passing away. These are the 2 natures of this joy. Arising, and just for a little bit of time, maybe an hour or something, whatever, and the nature of that joy is subject to passing away, subject to destruction. It will go away. So when you investigate the nature of this, it is called the insight part of that meditation. So serenity meditation is not the only thing, only meditation that we should do. Does that make sense? Serenity meditation helps you a lot, helps you understand the investigation too. As even though you achieve that first level of the concentration, Buddha wanted you to understand the nature of this concentration. It is subject to destruction, passing away, vanishing, right? Arising and passing away. This is the basic of the insightful meditation. If you give it a try, maybe to the walking meditation, like you pacing back and forth, and you practice facing meditation, focusing on the movement of your body. right? You focus. This is how I keep my step. I rise my step and then I keep it forward. This is how I walk or something. Focusing on the postures or maybe the gestures you're walking, right? Then your mind becomes settled, concentrated to one point. What? How do you say this?
1 point.
One pointed, right? So your mind and your body becomes like one thing. You focus. Then you understand you have lots of peace, concentration. This is all maybe samatha, serenity you experience. And as well, if you investigate the nature of these steps, what happens to the first step you kept before? And you rose your one foot and you kept it forward. And what happened to that step? That became other ones, changed. You definitely want to take that step to keep it forward. So you understand that this is the arising of my movement and passing away. This is the only thing I have in my body, arising and passing away, all the postures, all the time, arising, and it becomes the past, passing away. See, all the things, every moment we experience that arising and passing, arising and passing. You focus really well about this arising and passing wave. This is all about the impermanence. When you train your mind to focus on this insightful part of this body, your mind becomes well developed. You will develop to understand the nature of everything. What you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you feel, and what you think. Arising and passing away, arising and passing away. Even in the breathing meditation too, we actually follow the basic parts of the meditation to do every day. We keep our mindfulness in the present moment, watch the breath in and out, and that's it. Like that's the whole thing we guide you to practice, right? All the time. We do not ask you to investigate the arising and passing away of this breath because you should train your mind. You should get used to the meditation first. The peace and the happiness, the joy. We should get used to this meditation first if you want the next step to go. Right? When you become so comfortable doing the first part of the meditation, you will be so comfortable to do the next. Why? You already have that to go forward. Does that make sense? Some people are so good of meditating, like the serenity, the breathing meditation, loving kindness meditation. They enjoy, they have lots of joy and peace, but they do not investigate. They can't. They don't know maybe. And this person is very wise actually. Even though he can practice, he doesn't know to experience the joy and peace. They have lots of distractions too. They can understand the things as they really are. Yes, the Buddha said, this I is conditioned. Does that make sense? This I is conditions. The I is a result of my past karma and made out of Nama and Rupa, right? Nama is the name, Rupa is the form. Rupa is four elements, four great elements. Earth element, water elements, fire element, air elements. The I is made out of these four elements. Earth elements is like solid things we have in the eye. And water elements, we have liquid things made out of this eye. And air elements, we have air, we need this. And heat elements, we have that, kind of a temperature. This eye is made out of these four things. Plus, Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Phassa, Manasikara. Vedana, feelings. In the eye, we have feelings, not that pain. Feelings means that when we see things, we have a happy feeling, we experience painful feeling or neutral feeling or whatever. When you see these beautiful pictures, you become happy because of the eye, right? Feelings, Vedana, Sanya, perceptions, we perceive things. With the eye, we perceive colors. Do we? Yeah, we perceive colors. We perceive the shapes, whatever. All right? Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, you have volitional formations in the eye. Like because of this eye, we have volitional mental formations as well. Phassa is the contact. We have contact with this eye. How? We need this eye, the form to see, and we need our consciousness to recognize these things. These are the three things in the contact. What is it again? The eye, the form, for example, this, you see this, and we need our consciousness meeting together is called the contact. We have this in our eye. Consciousness is a recognition, and then we perceive this or whatever. We have a kind of attached to this. This is my favorite color. This is my favorite movie or something. We have lots of things. Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Phassa, and Manasikara means the way of thinking, the thoughts. Because of that, we think. Mental formations and the thoughts are kind of very closer, but two things. When you investigate the nature of this eye, you investigate these four kinds of elements, and then these five kinds of nama, feelings, Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Phassa, Manasikara. Feelings, perception, volitional formations, contact, and the thoughts. So you investigate. This is how I have my eye. This is the creating. This is the way that this eye was created. You see, it is not the creator. It is not the God. We have the human eye because of the karma. We have this human eye. If we did not have that powerful good karma to come to this human world, we might have a cow's eye or something, maybe in the animal world. Maybe an eagle. I don't know. If it became very worse, maybe in a ghost world or something, maybe in hell. Yeah, please. And yes, Manasikara is the attention. It's very close, actually. It's very close. Anyways, this is the way that we use our eye. The ear is the same, the nose is the same, the tongue is the same, the body is the same. This is how we experience this life. When we see things beautifully, we have a good feeling and we are attached to that. Why? We do not understand the nature of the things. That's we have that we create this desire and we are attached. The anger is the same thing. But the good meditator, he or she investigates the nature of this. Oh, this is what I see. What about this actually? We don't have Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Phassa, Manasikara in here. We don't have feelings in here. It doesn't have a mind. We don't have perception, mental formations. Oh, nothing. But in our eye, we have that. But anyways, this is made out of four great elements. Four great elements. What are the four great elements again? Earth elements, solid things. Water elements, heat elements, air elements. That is it. If you separate this into small pieces, there is no mouse here. You have only the four great elements in everywhere. That's it. So, but we have that a huge ignorance to perceive things. Oh, this is a mouse, or this is a glass, or this is a computer, this is a book, or this is a picture, whatever. But what is it? It is made out of four great elements, and that's it. Subject, how the four great elements work? Only arising and passing away. Subject to destruction, subject to vanish. It is all about the impermanence. If it is impermanent, we can come to the previous lesson actually. How did the Buddha explain this? The Buddha explained actually, not taking a mouse for example, right? So, is this permanent or impermanent? It's a hard question. Permanent or impermanent? It is very impermanent, very temporary. Very temporary, right? Very small. This will be gone in 2 years, 4 years, I don't know. If it is impermanent, it is suffering or happiness. If it is impermanent, or suffering or happiness, definitely it is suffering. Because it is impermanent. Impermanent is all about suffering. It doesn't give you happiness. Whenever you have something very cool, maybe your luxurious car, you have to say goodbye. Happiness or suffering. This body is very fit and healthy and attractive. I don't know, whatever you explain. We have to say goodbye, happy or suffering. What is more, happiness or suffering? Happiness. I enjoy my life. This is it. But how do we say goodbye to this? Is it a happy thing or sorrowful? Very, very dangerous. So this is all about suffering. So the Buddha said, if it is suffering, is it fit to you to say, this is me, this is mine, this is myself? This is mine. Good to say that? Good to have an attachment to this? No, why not? Because it is suffering. The I is the same thing. This body is the same thing. This I is permanent or impermanent? This is impermanent. If this I is impermanent, it's a happy thing or suffering? It's subject to suffering. If it is suffering, is it good to say, this is my I, myself, or mine, me, my, or myself? Not at all. Why not? It is suffering. When you investigate this Dhamma, this phenomena, your wisdom increases, develops. As long as we don't do this, we have that ignorance, we have this attachment, we have this journey of samsara again and again and again, life after life after life, endless. Not in the human world, maybe in the hell, maybe in the animal, maybe in the ghost world. Because of the karma we collect. Rarely we come here to the human world and we go to the heavenly world, very rare. And to the Brahma world, really, really rare. Still in the journey called samsara, we experience lots of suffering. Why? We have not practiced that insightful meditation. We do not understand as they really are. This person, what do you think about this person? They know nothing. Okay? They don't have the serenity meditation. They don't have insight meditation as well. This person is actually, they understand the Dhamma really well. They have the serene meditation. They have insightful meditation as well. In the world, actually, people, you have lots of centers like Vipassana centers. They teach maybe this. They teach about this. Okay? To investigate the phenomena, investigate about everything as it is impermanent or something. All right. We go to the next part, okay? This part, okay?
As for the person who has certain grounded on serenity, they should practice meditation to get its discernment. Sometimes they have both serenity.
So, as for the person who has serenity but not discernment, which means that insightful part, grounded on serenity, they have serenity, they are comfortable in the meditation, and meanwhile, they should give rise to the insightful part, the practice of meditation to get discernment. After some time, they have both serenity and discernment. They will develop both together. We need these both. So based on that serenity meditation, you can develop your insightful part. Does that make sense? Yes. How does the Bhante says? Because the person among those who gain internal serenity of mind, but not the higher wisdom of insight into phenomena, should base himself on internal serenity of mind and make an effort to gain the higher wisdom of insight into phenomena. Then, sometime later, he gains both internal serenity of mind and the higher wisdom of insight into phenomena. Not only he, she as well. Next. You understand, right? If you have that peaceful state of mind in the meditation, you should definitely go to the next level too. Is that what this means?
As for the person who has discernment but not serenity, grounded on discernment, they should practice meditation to get serenity. After some time, they have both discernment and serenity.
Yes. The Bhante Bhikkhu Bodhi says, the person who gains this higher wisdom of insight into phenomena, but internal serenity of mind, should base himself on the higher wisdom of insight into phenomena and make an effort to gain internal serenity of mind. Right? And then later, sometime later, he gains both the higher wisdom of insight into phenomena and internal serenity of mind. My teacher Bhante actually says that most of the people, like if they like Dhamma, are like these people. In their meditations, they are not really good in like achieving peace, joy, maybe a level of samadhi or something. But many people like this Dhamma to read, then to understand, they give try. They give their best to understand. This is what the Buddha said. In that discourse, they come to classes, they learn, they like to question. That's how they develop their wisdom. Investigation. So when you read, when you listen, when you question, when you investigate actually in the meditation, in whatever ways, you develop these. Right now also, you're developing your insightful part. You don't have to close your eyes all the time to do this, okay? In your day-to-day life, even when you see the rain, or it is raining now, and it is stopped, what happened? Arising and passing away. All right. Maybe this is the most important part of this lesson for all of us, okay?
As for the person who has neither serenity nor discernment, in order to get those skillful qualities, they should apply intense enthusiasm, effort, zeal, vigor, perseverance, mindfulness, and situational awareness. Suppose your clothes or head were on fire. In order to extinguish it, you'd apply intense enthusiasm, effort, zeal, vigor, perseverance, mindfulness, and situational awareness. In the same way, in order to get those skillful qualities, that person should apply intense enthusiasm. After some time, they have both serenity and discernment.
What do you understand? Maybe we don't have both, any. How does Buddha say about this, about us? We should eat and we should watch a little bit of television and enjoy going on trip and taking pictures. And is that the way? No, no, it's not the way we should do. How? Just as Bhikkhu Bodhi Bhante translates, as one whose clothes had caught fire. For example, your cloth is in fire, okay? Would put forth extraordinary desire, effort, zeal, enthusiasm, indefatigability, mindfulness, and clear comprehension extinguish the fire on his clothes or head. What if you have fire on your head, maybe? You're burning. Or you say that, oh, I will watch my television, this drama, and then I will try to extinguish this later or something. You're so hungry, and then you say that I will eat my rice, and then I will do this or something. What do? Yeah, you have no two minds, actually. You just come and you give your best to do this, okay? To escape, to be safe. So that person should put forth extraordinary desire, zeal, effort, enthusiasm, infatigability, mindfulness, and clear comprehension to obtain both those wholesome qualities. Then sometime later, he gains both internal serenity of mind and the higher wisdom of insight into phenomena. So we should try this Dhamma if we need to escape from that fire on our head. This is not a simple life. So we are like, actually, we do not see the nature of this life, the danger. It's not the depression, or maybe the anxiety, or maybe the physical pain we have, maybe the cancer. This is not the problem. This is not the dangerous part of this life. It's not the pandemic, it's not the war, it's not the battle, it's not the bombing. This is not the biggest issue we have in our life. What's the biggest issue? Life after life after life, we have a journey so much dangerous. What if you fall in hell next time? Can your money save you from hell? Or I will pay maybe billions of dollars, please save me. Can you give that money? No, nothing. The technology is well developed today. So you say that I have so much developed technology, and please save me from my hell world, from my ghost world. I'm supposed to fall in hell next time, today, or maybe tomorrow. Can we do this? No, nothing. This is the most dangerous part of our life. Only the humans, only the devas can listen to this. Not the animals, not the ghosts. They have no chance. Even in the human world, a very few people get to know this stuff like this. We should be very responsible about our own safety, about our own happiness. No one is responsible, not the God, not the creator, not your parents, not the teacher, not the Buddha, not the Bhantes, not the president of this country. Nobody is responsible. Who is responsible for our safety or for our happiness? Oneself, yourself, myself. So that's why the Buddha says this. Try this Dhamma as you have fire on your head, or maybe your clothes are on fire. It's not about your hunger. It's not all about the pandemic. It's not the cancer we have. It's not the separation of loved ones. It's not anything. It's the danger of this samsaric journey. That's why the Buddha gave this kind of a Dhamma to you, okay? All right, the fourth person.
As for a person who has both serenity and discernment, grounded on those skillful qualities, they should practice meditation for protecting violence.
Beautiful, huh? So if you have both, maybe become comfortable, keep going, you will get the benefits. Let me give you a story, then you will understand in stories too. Maybe I have given the story before too. The other day, and he was a teacher for 30,000 students. Remember the story? He had 30,000 students, that Bhante is among. And he was so good at teaching, and he gave so much of Dhamma deep for them to understand. But this Bhante didn't have any time to practice his Dhamma. Monk, he didn't have time. But all those 30,000 students were very, very talented to learn this Dhamma, to practice, and to achieve the highest goal of Nibbana. But still, the teacher is not an Arahant, it's not an enlightened one. So one of those 30,000 students came to open this Bhante, the teacher, and said, please, Bhante, please, my teacher, give me some time for a lesson. Like, not actually pretending he said this. He wanted to encourage his teacher to practice his Dhamma or something, okay? And he said, the teacher said, no, I have no time. I have classes. I have my students, the monks, the order to teach. Maybe when you go to bed, maybe a little bit of time for me. No. Maybe when you go on your arms round, I can come behind. No, I have students. When you take a shower or something. No. Here it is. And then he doesn't need any Dhamma. He fulfilled the path, but he wanted to teach him. So he said, all right, Bhante, if you do not have time for me, you have time for yourself. He said, of course I don't. I don't have time for my practice. Serenity or insight or whatever. Then he rose up to the sky and left because of the psychic powers he gained with the enlightenment. The teacher, Bhante, was very shocked to see this. Oh, this is my student. He is enlightened, but not me. I gave him the Dhamma, the Buddha's teachings. But I am not a good person. So he thought to himself, all right, I know lots of Dhamma. I can investigate Dhamma, and I will go to the forest monastery. For a night, I will get. I'm enough. The night is enough for me. I know everything. Taking down the bowl, the 2 robes, and he left his school to the forest monastery. He sat down for the meditation. The mind was like wandering here and there. He was unable to concentrate. He did not gain any breakthroughs that night, and he was disappointed. Maybe the second night, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the seventh. So he thought to himself, all right, I will try my best. I don't sleep. Only standing, walking, and sitting, not sleeping. He removed his bed from his kuti, the small hut, the cottage, and he said to himself, I do not wash my feet to go to bed until I achieve my highest goal, the enlightenment, arahant. What does that make sense to you? He doesn't wash his feet until he becomes an arahant to go to bed, which means he stops sleeping. Now the Bhante doesn't sleep, giving his best to understand the final goal. Walking, standing, and sitting, he meditates. He had a walking path. The first 3 months he tried, nothing. And here, nothing. No any breakthroughs. His walking path became like a red carpet from the blood of this Bhante, blood from the feet. That's how he gave his. See, we don't do this, okay? We just do a little bit of meditation and we think about the bed. We don't have that desire, right? We don't do this. But see the people in the past. Another year, the second year, nothing. The third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh. He was keeping doing that, but gained nothing. But he was not disappointed. He did not let that go. He didn't give up. He tried his best. So 7 years, 10 years, 20 years he tried. 30 years he did the same thing, the same monastery. He came to this forest monastery to do this at night. But what happened? 30 years in his life spent doing the same thing, but gained nothing. He was so worried. I became a monk out of lots of desire to understand this Dhamma. I became a teacher for 30,000 students. All of them became enlightened, but not me. I came here to understand this Dhamma in a night. His name was Mahasiva. He sat down on a spot nearby the walking path at night. A stream of tears came down his cheeks, crying. I can't die like this. I can go home. I can go back to school for my student. What can I do? I gained nothing. For 30 years, I gave my child. When he was crying, he heard someone was crying too. And he asked, why are you crying? And someone spoke from the tree and said, I am the tree deva, tree deity of your monastery. So the Bhante questions, why are you crying? I am crying, Bhante, because you are crying. Why are you crying? Yes, I am crying. Bhante, I do everything you do for the enlightenment. I think the cry is the path for the enlightenment. That's why I'm crying. He thought, oh, these deities are making fun of me. He let go of that desire to become enlightened. Sat down that night, he became enlightened. Now, he wants to sleep. After 30 years, he wants to go back to sleep. He's at bed in the kuti, and he wants to wash his feet. He went to the wash basin, sat down, and looked around, looked up, and he saw 30,000 students were there to wash his feet. So what did you understand from this story? You have to practice. Everybody is not the same. Like, it's the teacher. When you meditate, it's different from me. Like, you're different from me. I'm different from anybody else. We are different. We have different kinds of karma. Karma is different. Our practice is different. Our history is very different. You came from a heavenly world. Maybe you came from the human world back. I came from the animal world. Maybe from the cow or something different. We have different histories. Who knows? As I have experienced lots of eating, maybe frogs, becoming snakes or something, I have that desire. I have that, like, how do you say this? So much. This is not the only thing we experience here. We have an unbelievable history in the future as well. So when we sit together for the meditation, we don't experience the same thing, different. We have different kind of experience in this life. Today we experience so much of different things, you and you, me. This is how we live, right? This is the life. This is the journey of samsara. Our karma is different. Our experience, our practice is different. Sometimes this is the first time in our history we listen to a Buddha's word. This is the first time in our history. Maybe you have met lots of Buddhas previous times, Arahants. You have seen our Gautama, the Supreme Buddha. but you did not understand. It's different kinds of things, different. But when we come to listen to this Dhamma, we should make our mind happy about these teachings. Of course. And then we should try like what? Like we have fire on our head. So that Bhante did the same. When you practice, maybe your mind is not concentrated, you're not peaceful, you have lots of distractions, you have worry, you have fear, maybe anxiety, depression, whatever. You experience lots of suffering, mentally, physically, you have pain. Do not give up like the Bhante did. Why not? Why not? You do not see the development of your mind. Even though you have thousands of distractions in your mind becomes developed. You don't recognize. Have you seen a tree grows? It's not from the Dhamma actually. Have you seen a tree grows? No, you have not seen. But tree grows, huh? Very little at a time. Very little. But after 30 years, you see a huge tree, but you have never seen that tree grows. Why not? It's the way that it is. The tree needs water, the tree needs the air, sunlight. I'm not a scientist about trees. The tree needs that. In the same way, you need this Dhamma, you need this practice, you need everything. When you feed with this Dhamma, you have never seen that your mind grows. But see this. This is for everybody. All right, I can share the story first, okay? This Bhante, he is called Sappadasa. You know, Sappa is the serpent or snake. Dasa is the servant. All right. Sappadasa is a monk in the time of the Buddha, and he was meditating, and he says, actually, yeah, we got the first part. See, he says he's an enlightened monk after he became enlightened Arahant, and then after becoming enlightened, he was so happy. With the happy feeling, he said this. Everybody together?
25 stars since I gave for this time. The peacefulness of the mind, even for I am of
Like what? Like who? Like all of us. He said he has becoming a monk for 25 years. But he was like in the time of the Buddha giving his best for the meditation. He says, not a single amount of time, a finger snap of mind, I did not experience the stillness, the peace of mind. Next point. Having
obtain the 1.2 make that call. I felt to run off from the visual good. For finally speaking with my hands and my level of strength.
so like, and then the next,
What is the meaning of this life? Having become a for me, how could I die in a slave and rejecting the soully life?
don't do this, okay? Please. Sit for your meditation, try your best, don't take a knife. Why not? It's not the way, okay? All right. And then one day, this Bhante was like going from the monastery to monastery with his hands on his head, crying. I can live my life like this. I can go back home to the lay life. He was crying, I'm a failure, or something like that, saying that he was running away in the monasteries. For 25 years, he tried his best. but gain nothing, even a finger snap of a time in the meditation. We should be happy though. And then one day, some monks, they have caught a snake in a pot. They're taking that pot to the forest to leave that snake in the forest. Maybe from a kuti, maybe from a cottage, they caught that poisonous snake in a pot they were taking. And this Bhante thought, oh, this is a good thing that for me to commit my suicide. And he said, oh, give me that pot to me. What is it inside? It's a venomous snake. Oh, all right, I can drop him in the forest. He took that pot with the snake and went to the forest, opened the mouth, and put his hand inside. For what? To be
Get rid of
to get bitten, to die, to commit suicide. Sappa Dasa. Sappa is the serpent, Dasa is the servant. This Bhante has become, in his previous life, a servant of a serpent. He was keeping serpents, treating maybe a doctor or something. And this snake had become the same snake in his life too. And that was the master. That's why he doesn't bite. Leaving that snake in the forest, he came back to the monastery and he said this. Everybody together.
I shall balance like with the night. Artificial seeing of the sun. And become off a rain. How would I die staying with strangers?
And then
Then I shall remains to my sick. Finish separation.
what is a razor? It's not the razor like we currently use. It's like a small knife, right? Maybe you have seen that. Right, we say Daliti here in Singapore. Yeah. Have you seen that razor? It's like a razor. It's not the plastic razors. That's what the people used back in the days. And the next,
Days.
Days of the are such a great boast. The things you have sensitive to here. This scratch file that's established.
all right. Yes. Same incident. So you see, for 25 years, he was meditating, but he did not recognize his mind. Why not? He didn't have that inside part, or the serene meditation. But the inside part, he did not let go. He did not recognize. He was investigating the Dhamma, but he did not understand. He was not happy about his serene part. He didn't understand. He didn't have any stillness of mind. He says, see. But his mind grew. Mind really grew. People like, oh, I'm not good in the meditation or something. But we should try. What do we want? We don't want to kill ourselves. No. No. This Bhante had fulfilled the path, but he did not recognize. At the end, he says,
They based on the same resistance. I would hearing to from everyone. Seeking excellence. I should attain the physical knowledge. With the stand to think for.
when you become Arahant, you gain these triple knowledges. These verses were said by Arahant Sappadasa. So I wanted to say actually, do not let go. The Dhamma investigation is not, maybe you read, you don't understand, that's okay. You sit for your meditation, you're not good in the meditation, that's okay. Keep doing this, learn this Dhamma. You will come to the point. Maybe you will understand someday. You need this. You need to feed your mind with lots of understanding, reading. Keep doing this. Okay, meditation is not just for your peace, like, oh, I need a mental peace. Or it's you gain that too. Yeah, of course, yes, of course. It's not the only thing, okay? We have a very deeper part of the understanding. Doing this, you will gain the happiness, the permanent happiness, freedom from all the sufferings, okay? Which is called the Nibbana. Oh, yeah, Bhante Anuruddha says actually something amazing. See, Bhante Anuruddha. Anuruddha was foremost in the divine eye. He was the Bhante who gained the divine eye. Anuruddha. Anuruddha is the name of a monk. Venerable Anuruddha went to Venerable Sariputta. Sariputta was one of the chief disciples, and exchanged greeting with him. When the greetings and polite conversation were over, he sat down to one side and said to him,
Here is the thing, Reverend Sariputta. The clairvoyance that is purified and surpasses the human. I surveyed the entire galaxy. My energy is roused up and unflagging. My mindfulness is established and lucid. My body is tranquil and undisturbed, and my mind is immersed in samadhi. But my mind is not free with defilements by not grasping.
all right, what is it all about? He had fully the serene part of his meditation. He can see so much. His meditation is so good, not like the previous Bhante. They did not have this, right? But this Bhante, he says that his mind is purified, surpasses human. I survey the entire galaxy, he can see. In the meditations, my energy is roused and unflagging. My mindfulness is established and lucid. My body is tranquil and undisturbed. But what's the problem? My mind is immersed in samadhi. Samadhi is the concentration. But my mind is not freed from the defilements, not by grasping. I'm not liberated. Really good in the meditation, but I did not understand. Serene part is really good, but not the insightful part. Then Sariputta Venerable Arahant Bhante says something really amazing. See?
Well, Reverend Anuruddha, when you say with clairvoyance that is purified and surpassed the human. I survey the entire galaxy, that is your conceit. And when you say my energy is roused up and unflagging, my mindfulness is established and lucid. My body is tranquil and undisturbed, and my mind is immersed in samadhi. That's your restlessness. And when you say, but my mind is not freed from the defilements by not grasping, that's your remorse. It would be good to give up these three things, ignore them, and apply your mind to the deathless.
Sadhu, sadhu. Beautiful. See, these all are defilement. These all are hindrances. Right? So what is it? Grasping. He says, when you say clairvoyance, that is purified and surpasses the human, I survey the entire galaxy. That's your conceit. You think, oh, I'm really good at this. This is your conceit. Let that go. Conceit is not, it's a defilement. As long as you have that, your mind is not fully free. Ignorance. Maybe you're arrogant or something. Yeah? And what is the next thing? You're really happy about your gains, and you're still clung to that. You have grasping. I can see the entire galaxy. Still, you have that attachment. to that feeling. You're not freed, not fully done. And when you say my energy is aroused and unflagging, my mindfulness is established and lucid, my body is tranquil and undisturbed, and my mind is immersed in samadhi, that's your restlessness. You're distracted with these. Restlessness, like you have that, like it's a defilement. You should let that go. It doesn't help. Sometimes maybe when you sit for your meditation, you think about your last night meditation. You think that, oh, I was really good in my last meditation. I should do the same thing here right now. What are you thinking about? You are not in the present moment. You are in the past. Your mind is scattered and defiled. You should let that go to bring your mindfulness to the right here and now. Does that make sense? And when you say, but my mind is not fit for defilements by not grabbing, this is your remorse. He says that I didn't achieve my goal. What is it? Your remorse. Don't do this. It would be good to give up all these three things, ignore them, and apply your mind to the deathless.
After some time, Buddha gave up these three things. Ignoring them, he applied his mind to the deathless. Then Anuruddha, living alone, withdrawn, diligent, keen, and resolute, soon realized the supreme culmination of the spiritual path of this very life. He lived having achieved with his own insight the goal for which gentlemen rightly go forth from the lay life to homelessness.
He lived having achieved with his own insight the goal for which gentleman, right, sadhu, sadhu. And he understood rebirth is ended, the spiritual journey has been completed. What had been done has been done. There is no return to any state of existence. And Venerable Anuruddha became one of the perfect. Anuruddha Sutta.
And how much do we really achieve this life? And achieve
That's a good question. Right.
Lifetimes.
It's a very good question, actually. We should have a very good plan to do this. It's not spontaneous. Maybe we can't achieve any goal in this life. You, me, or whoever, right? We can't achieve any goal in this life. But keep doing. You should have a good goal, make good karma, because the karma is a huge part of this journey. When you have that powerful karma, you will gain another opportunity to practice this dharma. Maybe here, maybe better than this. You will meet teachers, you will meet the spiritual Dhamma again, and you will gain some beautiful energy to practice. You will gain lots of Kalyana Mittas, the noble friends. You will be happy to practice, and then you will achieve kind of levels. You should have that goal. Then what's the point? Making good karma. Do not get disappointed. Right? Yes, it is something really hard to achieve, but it's possible. That's the only solution, actually. Nothing else. First, making your mind pleasant toward the word of the Buddha is the first, is the base. Be happy about the teachings, be happy about the knowledge and wisdom about the Buddha, from the Buddha. And that's it. That will give you so much here, hereafter, and wherever you go.